Off with the opening statement from Coach Chambers, then questions to the student athletes. Guys, you're live in the FanFest 10. Everybody having a good time there watching the press conferences, as well as online on AmericaEastTV.com. So, Coach Chambers?
I'll just say, playing against UNH is it's tough. And they're so physical, and all the injuries they sustained this year, and the way they play, and the way they make you play, I give Coach Henry a ton of credit. And he's right up there for me for Coach of the Year, him and Mike Lonergan, because, again, they had Alvin Abreu, Ferg Minor go down, and for him to compete the way he does, night in and night out, with a good group of guys, and that's what you saw out there. That's what you saw out there. It was an American East old-fashioned battle, and he's been in a ton of them because of his Drexel days. But I was proud of these guys. We definitely grinded it out and did a pretty good job down the stretch.
Thanks, Coach. And questions for the student athletes. And guys, if you just, because of the streaming, I'll just kind of step up to the mic stage. Questions?
John, can you talk about the difference between the first half and the second half of that in terms of what you all were able to do defensively?
What can I say? We pretty much just wanted to come out and play even harder than we did in the first half. We gave up, I think, 30 points, and we try. We don't really try and give up that many. So all I can say is that we just went out and played our hearts out, and we tried to leave everything on the floor, and it worked out.
John, how big of a boost was Matt coming off the bench in the first few minutes of the game when your team was struggling to hit your shots on the field?
Matt's great. He's been doing that all year. He's been at energy off the bench, and he's great. He's always up there in attitude, and that's what we need, and that's good.
Matt, you've been talking about rebounding and defense is the key to this game. You are one of the smallest guys on the court, but you come up with 7 rebounds in this one, had 8 in the last one. How much does it mean to you in terms of really preaching and coming out and showing that that's what's important and you're going to care about and do it too?
Yeah, Coach preaches really try to rebound and play defense as hard as you can, and that's our focus. Really, I just kind of, sometimes I'm in the right spot, but it's really my teammates boxing out, and I kind of can just read the ball off the rim and be able to get a rebound. But really, it's all the other guys, and the reason why I had 7 rebounds is because everybody else is boxing out, and I can kind of run and get the ball. But, I just try to play as hard as I can defensively, and if the ball's in my area, I'm just trying to go get it.
Matt, can you talk about your mentality coming off the bench and how you stay in the game, stay focused, and kind of keep your poise?
I just, like I said, I just try to come off the bench and provide energy for our team. If we need a spark, I try to provide that, and really, whatever I can do, bring energy to the team. That's just kind of my role in the team. I just want to do whatever Coach needs me to do, and whatever the guys need me to do. That's what I want to come off the bench and provide, whatever we need at that point.
John, how's the ankle feeling?
It's fine.
How much does it mean to either of you guys, the contributions from Dom and Pat after they really struggled up at one home?
It's great. That's what we need them to do, rebound, defend, and they've been doing it ever since. So, you just try and get better every game.
John, it took you a little while to get into your offense, it seemed like, but when you got that pass from Matt and you dunked, then it seemed like you were ready to go at that point. Did that kind of energize you?
Not really. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I just, my ankle is I don't know. All right.
One more question, John. This is a softball for you. One more question. Congratulations on winning the Kevin Roberson Award as the most outstanding player in the conference, and we'll ask the coach later about that. There's a lot of great players in the conference that have won that, starting Reggie Lewis and all the way to guys that beat You know, like Tunji Joby, how does this feel to represent the rest of those guys?
Oh, it's a great honor being mentioned with the likes of those players. This is a great conference. It has a lot of history. So just being part of that is something that I'm going to treasure forever. And I'm just grateful that I got the opportunity to add to it.
Good job, guys.
John, I know you've been in the league and gone against Tyrone Conley and Dane Gallego for the past 4 years. You guys have really had some battles, been close by New England schools. Just what would you say now that that's the last time you'll ever face them about that 4 years going against them?
Oh, it was fun. They're great players and great guys. I know Dane a little bit, so it's been great. My time here has been great, and facing all these players, it's been wonderful. And I hope the rest of their lives and careers, or whatever they embark on next, is successful as their careers over at UNH were. So that's all I can say about them.
Any other questions for student athletes? Great, thanks a lot, guys.
Struggle.
You know what? You can struggle here, just don't struggle.
Okay, questions for Coach Chambers?
Coach, towards the end of the game, being only up by 5 with roughly 2.5 to go, and UNH's Rhodes was doing all he could to stay in the game and keep UNH in the game, what was your defensive scheme to secure the lead?
It really didn't change the whole game. We just try to play 5 guys against the ball. I think everybody in the league does it, and I know UNH does it because I have a lot of respect for Billy. We were just trying to keep him out of the paint. He really hurts you when he's driving the basketball. And the last time we played him, he was 2 for 5 from 3 too. So he's gotten a lot better. Coach Harrington's done a really good job with him. He's really developed his game. But we try to keep him out of the paint. More importantly, we try to slow down Conley. He had 16 second-half points. That's pretty impressive. And we did a pretty good job on the first half. But he's a senior and he's a leader, and you knew he wasn't going to go donut. So you're just waiting for that explosion, and it happened. But we did a pretty good job overall.
Coach, can you talk about what Matt was able to do for you off the bench, especially there in the first half and continuing over to the second half?
I tell you what Matt Griffin brings us is, his leadership, is a guy who's 100% in, a guy who's great in the locker room, and he's the hardest worker on the team. So when you see his statistics tonight, and the whole year, he's been that one steady, constant guy. I mean, he got 7 rebounds. He got 8 and 7 rebounds in 2 consecutive games. And then he also can make some shots for us too. And he really knows our defensive rotations, and he's really keeping the guys into it. It's real. We're a young team out there. We had like 3 freshmen on the floor once, and he's that one guy saying, "Hey man, we're all right." Especially when they're going on the run, they're making shots. Sometimes you can see freshmen kind of deflate, put their head down. He's that guy that says, "Hey, attitude. We're fine. We're gonna be okay. Let's just keep getting stops." And so he's just more than what you're seeing on this box sheet. He's much more. He means much more to this program. And you know what he means? He means a lot to me. And I know those players love him. I know John knows.
Coach, any thoughts on the play of Pat Hazel with 9 points and perhaps more importantly 10 boards against a very tough team down low in UNH?
We could say tough, physical, because that's UNH. That's Bill Herring. That's UNH basketball. I was proud of Pat. He keeps getting better. He keeps getting better every day in practice. We had a tough week of practice. We kind of went back. To like October type practices to keep our chip, to keep us motivated. And Pat Hazel, we keep statistics in practice. He won every single day. So it really didn't surprise me when he produced today the way he did. He was ready to go. He was ready to play. And I'm happy for him because he's had an up and down, a little bit of an up and down year, and he's really stepping up now.
Looking at a larger sense, your forwards gave you 21 points. Most of the guys haven't been putting in as much on the offensive end recently. How much does it mean to the team in a 3-game tournament like this where you have to get something every single game from everyone to move on?
In a tournament like this, I take it one day at a time. Our team's going to take it one day at a time, and you need production out of everybody. I mean, even Travis Robinson played less than 35 seconds, but he did his job. We need contributions from every single guy, and to get some production out of our post players is terrific. That makes us a very tough team to defend. But UNH, like I said, as one of the best defensive teams in this league, and they did a pretty good job on us for the most part until the end there, until the last couple months.
Coach, you outscored UNH by 20 in the paint, and anything you did differently in practice this time around? You could finally get Darryl Parn, John Holland start driving in the basket.
No, we're doing the same thing. It can't change now. I always say nothing changes. We are who we are. We're going to drive the basketball. We're going to put it in the post. We're going to let our guys make plays. I just want them to play with great confidence and a clear head. And if we do that, it gives us a chance to win. And I thought we did it for the most part today, even when we were missing.
Coach, what do you tell your guys after that initial 12-3 run? You finally got here, finally here in the postseason, and start off with the 12-3. What do you tell you guys going into the first time out?
I just say, guys, it's okay. We're fine. I use the term attitude all the time. Everything's going to be. We came out, we looked a little timid, a little tight. It's our first tournament game with a lot of guys, other than John Holland, and it was his first game in a week. So I just say, hey, upbeat, positive, everything's fine. Just keep defending, keep rebound, shots will fall, and stop looking at the scoreboard. I caught a lot of our guys looking at the scoreboard, and when you start looking at the scoreboard, then that kind of gets in your head. Now you're not defending, now you're not rebounding, and that rim starts to shrink just a little bit. So I just told them, let's just worry about us, play game basketball, and you'll like the outcome.
Okay, one last question right here.
Hey, Pat, was it a sigh of relief that you got John back and his ankle healed? And was there any concerns coming in that with him out of the lineup for the last game and a half or so and missing practice, the team would get a lot of rhythm?
There's no doubt. That was definitely in the back of my mind. He hasn't been around, he hasn't practiced in over a week. And we're playing with a certain group at Binghamton, a lot of days of those practices at Vermont all week. And John really didn't practice all week until yesterday for a little bit. Yeah, that was a major concern. And I knew that was going to show the first 5-6 minutes of the first half. And it did. It did. But then I think we relaxed a little bit and things loosened up. And I thought like you just said, our bigs did a pretty good job of making some plays in the paint.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you.